Again, if you move to Order 2172 and Order 2164, part of our own rules. And Mr. Speaker, again, I seek your permission to read Order 2172, which says the chairperson and ranking member and 2 other members of relevant subject matter standing or select committee shall join the members of the appointment committee to consider persons nominated by the President for appointment as Chief Justice and Justice of the Superior Court, Ministers of State, Deputy Ministers, Administrator of the District Assembly's Common Fund, the Special Prosecutor and other persons specified under the Constitution or any other enactment. The 2164 stipulates that the clerk is responsible for arranging questions admitted by the Speaker to conform with the rota and to inform the ministers accordingly. From my understanding, the combined effect of 2164 and 2172 is that, 1, there was no lawful vacancy that is flowing directly from 2172.
Honorable member, you are out of order. Please, your time is up, and we proceed to the next person. Honorable members, we will now listen to Honorable Muntaka Mohammed. 5 minutes. 5 minutes. Honorable members, the timing has been captured by the recordings. The instruments will give 5 minutes exactly. So when it gets to the 5 minutes, it will cut off automatically. That is what happened to the honorable member. And so I had to give him extra minutes. So please, Honorable Muntaka Mohammed, Minister for Interior, take note.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I want to thank you for the opportunity, but to remind the House that, Mr. Speaker, I'm not a backbencher, because I heard earlier Honorable Ayimbadu was given 10 minutes, and I thought, Mr. Speaker, I don't know how the leadership agreed, but the most important thing is that ministers are equated to rankings and chairs. So I don't know if that timing could be relooked at, but other than that, I can proceed.
Honorable member, you are actually not a backbencher, but you have been favored to speak instead of a backbencher. That should have been given to a backbencher. So I thought that you should have shown some gratitude to your leaders. If you think that you are oversized, then we'll get proper size for you next time.
Well, Mr. Speaker, I'll thank you and the leadership for the opportunity to speak in place of a backbencher. But Mr. Speaker, my worry is about the conclusion of the report of the committee. Mr. Speaker, as you may know, the House is guided by rules. And all our rules, Mr. Speaker, because of timing, I want to state that if you take Order 217, it says that the committee's report will either be by consensus or by voting. Mr. Speaker, so far as all of us were concerned, there was no voting at the Appointments Committee. Because, Mr. Speaker, as you know, votings are done at the tail end of the matter, whether it's a motion, whether it's a question, whether it's whatever decision is taken at the tail end. And Mr. Speaker, as we all also know, because of the timing, the rules of the House says that whatever rules that play to the chamber equally plays at the committee level. And Mr. Speaker, like I'm debating now, I cannot speak now and tell you, Mr. Speaker, when it's time for voting, I'll be voting this way and therefore step out. No, it has to be, I have to be present and be voting, as in Article 104 of our Constitution and our Standing Orders 139. Mr. Speaker, I believe that the committee's conclusion should be that it is by consensus decision. It cannot be by majority decision. It was by consensus decision. But Mr. Speaker, and the most important thing, as Mr. Speaker, you may know because of your deep knowledge of this House and its rules, if we are at a committee to vote, until somebody raises quorum, quorum is assumed. If it's time for us to vote, and there's nobody to raise issue of whether we have our full membership or what have you, it is assumed. Mr. Speaker, when people walk out, their names will still be recorded as present. When you are going to record those who were present, their names will be recorded. But they cannot say, we are voting, but we are walking out. No. The time that they were saying they were voting was not time for voting. So, Mr. Speaker, I want the House to consider this and amend the committee's report to indicate that the decision was by consensus, so that they do not take more of our time. Mr. Speaker, most importantly on the nominee, for me, I'm wondering why our colleagues are even doing what they are doing. Because, Mr. Speaker, it is very clear by Article 146 of the Constitution, where the President is mandated, if there is petition, to remove a Chief Justice or otherwise, the proper procedure was followed to the end. And if you have a challenge to that, it is not on the floor of Parliament that you come and challenge that. Mr. Speaker, the nominee, if you look at his experience, you and I, Mr. Speaker, with all humility, were members of the Appointments Committee when we vetted him in 2008. I was a backbencher member of the Appointments Committee, and he's been there for 17 years. Mr. Speaker, if you look at his impeccable records, you will be wondering why has he not been Chief Justice long ago. Because, Mr. Speaker, this is one person that has run his career through almost all the government. He got to the bench through President Rawlings, as indicated by even the committee's report. He got to the High Court through President Rawlings. Then, through President Kufuor, he went to the Appeals Court and the Supreme Court. And he's one of the very experienced persons that we have. If you look at his experience, if you look at the things that he's been able to do, even academically, and you wonder why he was not even made a Chief Justice earlier. But like we said, everybody marks his time. This is his time. This is the time for Justice Paul Baffoe-Bonnie. And Mr. Speaker, we must support him and encourage him to be able to give out his best, as he himself had indicated in the record. But Mr. Speaker, I want us to look at the issue of the committee's conclusion, saying that it's by majority decision. Mr. Speaker, I strongly believe it is by. Thank you very much.
Honorable, be called to accede to your request, because you now have to define what voting means. What do you mean by voting? Do you have to use a thumbprint? Can you use your mouth to vote? There are so many ways that you can determine somebody has voted. The report is very clear. It says after the minority leader made his submission, which was preliminary, it stated clearly and is quoted, the minority caucus hereby vote en bloc to reject the nominee. That is at the public hearing. And so, clear indication as to voting. Then, getting to the end of the report, the chairman captured it again, where he says, in conclusion, all the members of the New Patriotic Party minority were opposed to and voted against the nomination of the Chief Justice. That is what we have. And so I'm saying that then you have to define what we mean by vote. Has it got to be a physical indication either by thumb or pen, or could it be by word? And that one, we may have to look at it again. Then he concluded, the The committee therefore recommends to the House by majority decision. He didn't tell us how the majority came by the decision.